This is my passion. This is Ike's Outdoors. Hey guys, Ike here from IkesOutdoors.com. I'm here today to do a review on a 2014 Bowtech Carbon Night. As the name implies, this is a carbon bow, meaning it has a carbon riser on it. This thing weighs in at 3.2 pounds bare bow. So of course when you add your accessories to it, you're going to add a little bit of weight. This one comes with the RAK package, the Ready Aim Kill. This one comes ready to hunt, and that's what I've got on here. Quiver, sights, stabilizer, wrist sling, comes with the D-loop installed and with a peep sight, and comes with an actual peep sight without a tube, so I really like that as well. Octane strings on here, and overall the bow looks very cool. I mean, very nice, very eye-appealing bow. One thing it doesn't come with, of course, is the arrows. I've just got my deer crossing arrows in there because I've been hunting with this bow for the last week or so. Comes with an octane rest on here as well. Forgot to mention that. But anyway, we'll go back to the weight on this thing. 3.2 pounds bare bow with the RAK package on there. It doesn't add a lot of weight to it. I put it on my scale and I come up with, I don't have a real accurate scale to weigh that, but I come up with a little over 6 pounds with the arrows and everything in it, 6 to 7 pounds. So, completely decked out with everything on it, 6 to 7 pounds isn't too bad compared to, say, my experience and some of my other bows that are running into the 8, 9, even 10 pound range. Most of them are right around that 9 pound range with the sights and accessories on them. And some of them with my Trophy Ridge sight are actually pushing up over 10 pounds. So, a lot of weight difference in the two bows with this carbon riser. 3.2 pounds bare bow is really nice. Really nice bow. The weight is outstanding. When you pick this bow up, even fully dressed out, you can just really tell the difference in the weight. As far as the riser goes, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and pop this off here. I just want to show you guys, it with the quiver on. So we got our riser here. This is a carbon riser. It's got some really nice looking limbs on here, but they're really thin. Kind of another thing to cut down on the weight. And you'll see here we've got some anodized red accessories on there, or parts to your limbs. Anodized red on your limb bolt where it goes in, anodized red on your cam. So really cool looking bow overall. Really just a sharp looking bow. Kind of reminds me, the riser kind of reminds me of the old Destroyer. Really nice, cool looking limb pocket on it as well. So overall the bow is very eye appealing. Just looks just a sharp looking bow. The grip on it got this cool kind of carbon fiber look to it, and has Bowtech on there, Bowtech swirl underneath. As far as finish goes, the carbon on here is absolutely flawless. It looks fantastic. The limbs, I've had mine for a couple weeks now, and the limbs are spotless. They look fantastic. Pretty cool looking set of limbs on there. So overall the bow's finish is very nice and very good. One of the things about the carbon riser that I was wondering how they were going to do was add it's got a cable slide on here, and a cool looking kind of carbon fiber cable rod on there, or slide rod on there. What these actually do is your riser actually has a hole in it, and inserted like this piece right here that holds your cable slide, and actually has a piece here that's threaded for your rest, is actually tapped and threaded here, and you got a couple bolts that run through here. Same way on the bottom, it's tapped and threaded on the bottom, and you got a couple bolts that run through there. Now where your sights go, you got a couple of inserts right in there that are metal in there, that they're gonna go right into that slot, and are tapped and drilled, or drilled and tapped, so your sight will screw right into those. So you're not actually screwing anything into this carbon riser. Same way with your string stop down here, another cool carbon finish to it, and this is drilled and tapped here, and you've got bolts that actually screw in from the other side, and your stabilizer bushing out on the end is built into that. So the carbon is not, you're not putting anything directly into the carbon. The carbon is not threaded, which is really nice, because that's kind of one of the things I was wondering about when I first seen this bow, was if the carbon was threaded when you run your bolts in there, if it was going to mess up the threads. So the carbon is not threaded, it's got inserts all the way through it, or your parts are drilled and tapped and it's bolted in from the other side. So very, very nice features there. Let's get into the features of this bow. Get that out of the way. This is a 31-inch axle-to-axle bow. It's available in peak weights of 50, 60, and 70 pounds. 335 feet per second is the IBO rating on this thing. It has a binary cam system on it. Has a rotating draw module on here that adjusts from 26.5 to 30.5. So quite a bit of adjustment there. Goes down pretty short. And 30.5 gives you longer archers. A little bit more play on getting that extended out with you. And I found the draw links on this to run fairly true. I run at 27.5, and the D-loop that came with it on factories is pretty long. I'm going to shorten that up, and I'm probably going to add a 1/2 inch to it just to make it feel more comfortable. 27.5 feels a little bit cramped to me, so the draw length may run just a little bit short on this bow. But overall, it still feels pretty good to me, but 27.5 just feels a little bit cramped, so I'm going to extend it out to about 28, and I'm going to put a little bit shorter D-loop on there. Features on this bow, like I said, it's got the binary cam, it's got a string stop on here, it's got the Octane string stop, or I mean the Bowtech string stop on here, just string leeches on here, Octane strings, one draw stop on the top, speed knocks on your strings, comes with a pretty good little peep sight on there, and overall the bow just shoots really nice. The one thing I do kind of have a complaint about is the grip. When you feel this bow, it's a little bit square, and when you got it at full draw, it's just, instead of having a nice rounded edges to it, for me, this edge right here, I can feel it in my hand, and it's just tiniest bit uncomfortable. It's not too bad, definitely not a deal breaker for me, but it's a little bit square. Just doesn't have that good rounded edge to it that I really like. Of course, grip and opinion on grip is completely personal. You guys may love it, but to me it just has a little bit of a blocky feel to it. But overall, the bow shoots fantastic. We're gonna take this thing out here, and we're gonna do some chronograph tests with it, and we're gonna do a little bit of shooting and talk about the vibration and the noise and draw cycle and all that stuff out there. One thing, I don't have this thing set. I've got this thing set up and tuned for hunting, so I'm not gonna change the draw length, but I am going to go ahead and crank this thing down to 70 pounds. And with my setup, I'm going to be shooting 70 pounds. I'm going to be shooting a 27.5 inch draw length. I'm going to be shooting a 200 or 360 grain arrow, and I've got about 20 grains of weight on my string with the peep and the loop. So that's going to drop the IBO rating on it IBO speed from 335. It's going to drop it down to about 300. So I should be getting around 300 feet per second when we chronograph this thing. Alright, so I'm going to take a few shots here with the Carbonite. Got this bow set at about 62, 64 pounds, and we're just shooting here about 20 yards. One of the best things I like about this bow is how solid it is at full draw. The bow is just absolutely steady at full draw, which is kind of amazes me for a 31-inch axle-to-axle bow. So we're going to sit back here and take a few shots. Draw cycle on this bow is outstanding. It's really good. Pretty good solid back wall too, not a lot of mush to it. Draw cycle is really good. It doesn't have a big hump in it or anything like that. See, the bow's pretty quiet. Doesn't have a lot of noise to it. I can tell you right away it doesn't have a lot of vibration to it either. Bow just really, for being as lightweight as what it is, I figured it was going to be louder, and I figured it was going to have a little bit more vibrations to it. Talk about the draw cycle again. When it comes back, it builds up nice and smooth to peak, and then instead of just dumping off like a lot of binary cams do, it builds up to that peak and then it just comes right back down real nice and real slow, which is what I like. It's got a really good cycle to it, really good feel to it. When you got the bow at full draw, it really settles in nice. I said the grip's got just a little bit of a kind of a harsh edge to it. I wouldn't even really say harsh, but it just doesn't have the rounded. The grip's a little bit blocky. As far as accuracy goes, though, I'm putting up a really good groups at 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards. I'm putting up really good, consistent groups. And, you know, for a short axle to axle bow, that's outstanding for a bow that's this lightweight. You know, performance-wise, accuracy is really, really good. Bow does have just the slightest little bit of kick when you let it go. Not too bad. I mean, it's not trying to jump out of your hand or anything like that. It just, you can kind of see it whenever when I shoot it. I'm shooting with a relaxed grip, and the bow just, you know, you'll just see a little bit of movement in it. Nothing too bad. But I mean, nothing that I wouldn't expect. It's not something that I wouldn't expect from the way that I shoot. You know, anyone who shoots with an open hand, you're going to experience that. I'm pushing, I'm pulling. I just wanted to talk about it since I figured you guys might kind of see it pulling away from me. It's a lot of it is in the way that I shoot, because I'm using back tension and I'm pushing and I'm pulling. It makes the bow kind of kick and pull away from me. That's mostly because of the way I'm shooting. The bow is really vibration free and really quiet. So, it's a very solid shooting bow. Platform, it's a very solid shooting platform. When you get it back at full draw, it just has a really nice, solid feel to the bow. Overall, the bow shoots, performs fantastic. Just a little bit short of IBO. You can see from the chronograph results there we were getting. Should have been hitting right around 300 feet per second. And we were getting pretty consistently. I IBO'd, or I shot it a lot more than what I'm showing in the video, but I don't want to spend a lot of time showing a bunch of chronograph results. We were getting anywhere from 294 to 296, so just a little bit slow, 4 to 6 feet per second off the IBO. You know, it's a little bit slow, but really not as bad as what you see with a lot of the bows. You know, 10 to 15 feet per second. I've seen that before, so just a little bit slow on the IBO, a little bit stocky on the grip, a little bit square on the grip. But overall, the bow is excellent. I mean, just very, very accurate. Tunability, I had this bow set up and shooting from the factory with this RAK package in about 30 minutes. I mean, broadhead tuned, ready to hunt. I got this thing on a Friday, Saturday in between hunts. I set it up, and Saturday afternoon I started hunting with it. So, very impressive overall. And of course, you know, this thing is pretty quiet and pretty solid with the accessories that it's got on it. This RAK, this Ready Aim Kill package is not bad. You know, you take this stabilizer here off and put a little bit different stabilizer on there, and maybe take off this octane rest, and you're going to gain a few feet per second there. Of course, they slow them down a little bit, and you're going to get a little bit more noise vibration if you take off this octane. But just like it is, it's very quiet, very vibration free, and just a really good solid bow. You know, this is the first carbon bow that I've ever owned, and that I've really shot. I've shot the Hoyts in the past, but this is the first one I've really had time to spend a considerable amount of time with, and I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very happy with pretty much everything about this bow. Strings have been very good, like all the Bowtech strings, the octane strings I've had in the past. That cam feels really good at full draw. Really good in the draw cycle, just a really nice gradual build up to it. Doesn't dump off into the back wall. Back wall's good, it's solid, and especially for me shooting back tension, it's really got a nice feel to it at full draw. So this is the Bowtech Carbon Knight 2014 model bow, and one is definitely worth checking out. This nice lightweight package, really shoots good. Short axle to axle bow. Just an outstanding hunting bow overall, and just looks really sharp. Really, they got the carbon rose out, and I'm expecting another carbon bow from them probably around the time of the ATA show. So be sure to check out this carbon night. We'll put the link right here in the description below directly to Bowtech. And for more product reviews, how-to videos, you can check out our website, ikesoutdoors.com. Appreciate you guys watching.